For venues, our tip is Pietro, running in Chester in the 445.
Galway Bay FM weather with Kia Renmore, offering a huge range of quality used cars from leading brands. Plus, make the switch to electric with 0% finance on all used EVs. Visit Kia Renmore to test drive your new car today.
Today will be dry with sunny spells, highest temperatures 11 to 14 degrees, and tonight will be dry with clear spells and lowest temperatures 1 to 5 degrees. Time for your job spot.
The Job Spot on Galway Bay FM.
Tony Burke Motors main Toyota and Lexus dealer for Galway are recruiting a 4th and 5th year apprentice mechanic. You can master your skills on the most up-to-date hybrid and electrical motor vehicles. Training to achieve master technician status included. Call Eamon on 091 480 123 or email your CV to careers@tonyburkemotors.ie. And qualified nail technician required for a busy salon in Galway City, full-time or part-time, position immediate start. Telephone 086 034 7360.
If you need any phone numbers or email addresses, please call our reception on 091 770077. Search hashtag Galway Jobs on social media or go to galwaybayfm.ie/jobspot.
You're listening to Galway Bay FM and this is Galway Talks with John Morley. Now, would you like a chance to win a share of €40,000 in the Galway Bay FM Cash Splash? Well, get ready to dive in and start winning as the Cash Splash starts on Monday next, the 11th of May. All the details can be found on galwaybayfm.ie. Answer the question and purchase your ticket. €40,000 is waiting to be won, and one ticket can give you 18 chances to win money. What are you waiting for? The first €1,000 Cash Splash prize will be won this coming Monday, the 11th of May, only here on Galway Bay FM. I also want to remind you that we want you to help us shape the music that you hear every day on Galway Bay FM, and this is how you can do it and win our next €300 one-for-all voucher. Visit galwaybayfm.ie or our social channels to take the survey. Every song you score gives you another chance to win a €300 one-for-all voucher, and taking part is easy. Listen to the songs, score the songs in the survey, and win. The more songs you score, the better your chances are. Your feedback helps us to understand what you enjoy most, and it's a simple way to have your say while enjoying the music you already love. You can get involved anytime from anywhere. Follow Galway Bay FM on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok for updates, reminders and exclusive content, and you could win a €300 one-for-all voucher as well. Now though, it's time for financial advice, and to do that we're joined in studio by Dave McCarthy of McCarthy Associates of Woodkey. Dave, good morning and thanks for joining us in studio today. We're starting today with an issue which is there's a warning that building of modular homes in your garden will affect your insurance.
Yeah, the construction of modular homes is going to become very popular because there are planning changes about to happen and that the government are bringing in to make it more, I suppose, amenable to people to be able to construct these homes in their gardens. And I think for a lot of reasons, maybe many people might opt for this construction. And so I suppose the other thing about it is that what the insurance experts are saying now is that you need to review your insurance if you put up one of these structures. First of all, there's the issue of whether you're underinsured in terms of the value of your house, which now includes the value of another building. And in expectation that would increase the value, obviously, of your house and therefore your rebuilding costs, and therefore your insurance needs to increase. The other thing too is I think a lot of people might want to use these modular homes as a stream of income because they might use it like under the rent-a-room scheme and to be able to avail of that. Well then, if you do that, then there is the issue of landlord liability. So what they're saying in essence is there are a number of issues that you can't ignore if you put up one of these structures. Just make sure you contact your insurance company and tell them what you're doing and make sure that your insurance cover is updated.
Okay. Another issue, the central bank is warning that fraudsters are attempting to clone the details of raisin banks.
Yeah, this is quite, I suppose, distressing really, and shows you how sophisticated a lot of these scammers have become. Raisin Bank, for anybody who doesn't know them, is an online bank operating throughout Europe. They've been around for quite a while. They're authorised and they are a legitimate bank. A lot of people use them, or some people use them particularly for placing money on deposit because they have they're well known for their deposit structure. But unfortunately, some of the fraudsters out there are cloning their website and some of their other details, and obviously it has got to a stage where the central bank are now concerned that this is happening on such a wide scale basis with Raisin Bank, and they're warning people just to be careful and make sure that you verify the details of their website, the website you're looking at. If you're looking at, it's hard to tell sometimes a cloned one, but just be aware. That's all I'm saying.
Question in, is there a way a bank will agree to take one name off a joint mortgage?
Well, the first thing I will say to that, listeners, we don't know the reason why you want to take somebody off a mortgage. I'll make an assumption about that in a second. Trying to take one name off a mortgage is a very, very near impossible thing to do with a bank. A bank are not very keen to let somebody, if you like, off a liability that's owed. And if it's a breakup situation in terms of a relationship, which I suspect it might be, I don't know, well, then that's something that will have to feed into either a divorce or a legal separation or whatever is happening at the moment. It's highly unlikely a bank will ever agree to that unless you come up with some sort of, dramatic offer to them where you're in a position financially to reduce down the mortgage substantially and to make it, attractive for them. But even with that, I don't think you're really, feel like, say, barking up a wrong tree here, trying to get a borrower taken off a mortgage or any loan for that matter.
In other news, despite the oil price, stock market's performing exceptionally well. Yeah,
some people say at the moment, who wouldn't, understandably follow stock market values and that, make an assumption that, everything has kind of gone pear-shaped since all of this conflict started and the price of oil has risen. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There's been a lot of stability in stock markets worldwide, and some markets are performing extremely well. So there hasn't been a hit as a result of the oil crisis, which is quite surprising, John, because, it's not that long ago when a major, event like this, where you saw a sudden rise in something as crucial as oil, which is obviously important for a lot of economic reasons, that would have, I suppose, resulted in a serious drop in stock market values, but it hasn't, and there's a reason for that too. Is the earnings from a lot of companies in the US are quite healthy, and they kind of, I suppose, the markets, it's a bit of prediction for the future, and they see there'll be some resolution of this thing at some stage, and the price of oil will start to revert down.
Sounds like that could be very soon, but we've seen this show before, Dave.
Yeah, well, look, we don't know what to believe with our friend. It depends on what kind of burger he's eating.
Another issue, why the electronic era could cause major problems for loved ones at death. Why is that?
Yeah, if you think about it, most of what we're doing now has an electronic basis. We're not dealing with we're dealing with everything we do is electronic. Okay.
No paper.
So what am I talking about here? Okay, say if we think about your bank accounts, access to your bank accounts, your PINs, if you have shares or investments, they're all held electronically. Utilities, all of our utilities are electronic. We're getting our bills, and everything is virtual. And what problems can happen if you think about somebody dies? How do you get access to all this stuff? Okay, you have to go through a process trying to get involved legally, a solicitor or something, but this is going to be very difficult. So I suppose it's one area that people need to start thinking about, or should think about, that they keep a record somewhere that somebody can access for, I suppose, obviously protected for their own personal confidentiality.
Could that be done through a will, Dave, or where could you put that?
You could do it that way, yeah, as well. But you see, it's a question of what we're talking about here: passwords. Think about tomorrow morning. You're no longer around, John. Okay, and your significant other wants to access or needs to access all these things. And that's where the problems start, when you don't have access to passwords, you don't have access to this, and you don't have anything. So I suppose leaving a record of your electronic footprint in relation to all of these things, I think, is very important. And it's one that people generally don't think of, but can leave a lot of problems behind if you don't leave a record somewhere.
Another question. I've been offered an investment in an alternative energy project and understand that it is not regulated by the central bank. Can you please explain this to me?
Some of these alternative investments, energy projects like this one, there's a lot of them have been in trouble in recent years in relation to solar and wind energy projects, where they would bring investors in to fund the project in question. They're not regulated by the central bank, and they don't have any of the protections that the central bank has in place. But if you're happy to proceed with something like this, and you understand that the normal protections for an investment are not in place, and you're done your homework in relation to the associated risk, well, that's fine for you, but make sure your eyes are open as regards the risk that you're taking with something like this type of investment.
Another question: I have had a personal pension for many years and have no idea how it's invested. Where do I go to have it looked at?
Well, you should be getting annual statements from the life company that you have the pension with. If you took it out through an advisor, well, then you should go back to him and ask him for details to advise you as regards how it's invested. Alternatively, you can contact the life company. But most people find it very difficult to understand the operation of pension investments. And I would just say to you, if it's alien to you and you can't handle it yourself in terms of understanding how it is invested, well, then you should get an advisor.
Dave McCarthy Associates in Woolkey, thanks for joining us on Galway Talks this morning. Now, I want to let you know who the winner is today of our €200 voucher to spend in-store at Skechers in Galway. Of course, they have the best footwear for the entire family.